Hi guys, in this class I will discuss CSS ways methods that are used with HTML document or HTML element. What is CSS? CSS means cascading style sheet. This one is a style sheet which have a different properties like font color, font style, margin, padding, border. So these are these different style which have a which we want to apply on the HTML element. So to design a website we need a CSS can be used with HTML. If you want to use CSS separately without HTML, you cannot use. CSS is used with HTML. HTML is used CSS. So both are compulsory to design a website. Target HTML element to apply style. So you have to target a HTML element, for example h1. If you want to target or if you want to apply a CSS on h1, you have to target or you have to select h1, then you can apply CSS property on this element. For example, if you want to apply CSS property on image tag, if you want to control its width and size, you have to select there is a text for a selector. You have to select image and then you can apply different style on this image. So all the HTML elements can be affected by CSS properties. Control size of website layout. Website have a different layout. For example, this one is a header, a sidebar, footer, main content. You can control their size. There are three ways to use CSS with HTML as inline, internal, external. So these are three methods. You can follow these methods to apply CSS properties. You know that in the previous class I show you about a style attribute. Style attribute is one of the method of using CSS with HTML document. That method we say inline. In the previous class we discussed about a style attribute, that one a method of a inline styling. So next, what is inline style? Style attribute is used to provide inline styling. You know that in the previous class we discussed about a style attribute. So this is an example. You can see that this is same like as we discussed in the previous class. This one is a paragraph start and this one is a closing tag or ending tag. In the starting tag you have to put a style attribute, then provide CSS properties. So here is only one CSS property. I used color gray. You can provide more properties like background color and font style, font size, etc. You can mention here. So other is internal style. Use style tags in the head section. You know that we have a head section. There are two section of a HTML basic structure. One is a head section and other one is a body section. So what you have to do, you have to use CSS properties in the head section using style tag. Style tag is a HTML tag, that is a pair tag. Between here you can apply CSS properties. This is the example. You can see that this one is style tag, starting tag. This one is a closing tag. Between starting and ending tag, this is a CSS properties with selector. So what is div? Div is a selector on which we want to apply a CSS properties. For example, you want to apply a CSS property on h1. You have to target h1 in the starting and ending tag h1, and this one is a style block. Here you can mention all the CSS properties as I have discussed with you. If you want to apply CSS property on p, you have to target p and starting curly braces, ending. Here you can use CSS properties. So in the next, external style. To work with external CSS style, what you have to do? Create a CSS file. You have to create a file, a blank file with the name any name you can give. For example, my style, test style, anything. But you have to notice that that file should be a CSS file with extension .css. So this file will be a CSS file or a style sheet. We write CSS properties in that file. In that file, you have to mention all the CSS properties with selector on which you want to apply a CSS properties. Link that files in HTML document. For example, this is file, a style file. This one is a your HTML document. You have to connect. You have to link this file CSS file in your HTML document using a link tag. That link tag I will discuss with you clearly. Example. So this is the linking tag. This tag or this line of code you have to write in the HTML document. So this line of code will make a relationship between your CSS and HTML file. And you can see that this is your file name, my CSS, and .css means this file is a style sheet. My CSS.css is the external style file name. So this is a way you can use external style in your HTML document. In the Notepad++, I will explain practically inline style, internal, external, properly. You will be clear each and everything. This one is a previous class lecture. Just I copy, create new file, and now what I have to do, I have to remove HTML CSS inline style. Here I want to take a h1. You can use any HTML element. Just I want to use a h1 element heading tag, largest heading, inline style. Then I want to save this file, inline.html. So using inline styling, you have to use a style attribute in the starting tag, style attribute. Then here you can mention all these CSS properties like color. You know, this one is a very easy, I have discussed in the previous class. And font size, background color, anything else you can provide. So this is style. So in the comment, just I mention this is the a inline style example, inline style example. So I save this file, open the folder, inline. This is you can see that color is change, background color did not want to give a white, just pink. So next what I have to do, I have to take another HTML element. For example, I have to take a paragraph element, and here I mention internal style. To provide an internal style, you have to use a style tags in the head section. For example, this is a starting, this one is a ending. Between starting and ending, you can target any HTML element to apply CSS properties or CSS style. For example, I want to apply a style on the paragraph, so I will write a P, and then here you can mention all the CSS properties like color, gray, background color, pink, font size 50 pixel, border 1 pixel. 1 pixel means its width, and solid means its style, which style of border you want to apply, and this is a color. I save this file, open the browser, refresh the page. You can see that style is applied on the paragraph, and this one is a yellow, it's a border style. So these are the different CSS properties you can apply on any HTML element. This one is a method of a internal styling. I can mention here above. This is the not. Here I want to use internal style. So in the next I want to show you a external h3 h2. I want to take a second heading, so here I want to use a external style. For that you have to create a new file. In the new file, this should be a blank, and my CSS or my style .css, so its extension should be .css. So I want to target h2 element. Just copy h2 element, paste here, and make a CSS block. Then here you can mention all these CSS properties like color, Color should be a white. Background color black. Font size. So these are different properties you can mention. Border 2 pixel, solid gray, yellow. Next, what do you want? Width. I want to give a 100 pixel. Save this file, open the browser, just refresh. Did not apply because I did not link this file in the head section. I want to link this CSS file, my style.css. This file I want to link in this HTML document. For that, you have to use a link tag. So this tag will help to link CSS file in this HTML document. You have to use a relation, which type of a relationship between these and other external file. So I want this is a style sheet, and in the header you have to mention its location because their location is same. My style.css. So when I refresh the page, you can see that style is applied. When I changing anything here, and changing will be applied on this page. 300, 400. So this one is a CSS properties I applied on this HTML element. So there are different methods I discussed with you. You can use any one of them. External is very best if you are a big project because it will separate CSS and HTML to each other. So it will help you to understand both code easily, CSS and HTML. And now I want to tell you what is a property between here: internal, external, and inline. So more property given to a inline style. For example, I want to apply a style on h1. So here is a color, it's red. I want to change its color using a internal style. H1 color I want to change here gray. I want to check probability of both methods, internal and inline. So here I used already its color red, and in the internal styling I want to change its color to gray. So when I refresh the page, it did not happen because more priority between internal and inline is the inline style. Inline style have a more priority than internal. So I want to use in the external file, for example h1 color yellow. It will not affect because I have discussed with you because a more priority among these methods have a inline style have a more priority because inline style it is very nearest to HTML element. This style is more nearest to HTML element, that is a h1, and this CSS style is some distance far from the h1, and this style is very long distance from the h1. So these are different methods you can use to apply CSS style. So meet in other class to discuss more about a HTML element. Anyhow, if you have any question, any problem, you can discuss with me without any hesitation. Thank you.